Have you ever wondered why some men seem to naturally captivate women while others struggle to even get noticed? It's not about having a flashy car or the perfect one-liner. It's about understanding the subtle psychological currents that shape human attraction, especially the kind that sparks genuine connection. Here's the thing. Many of us operate under flawed assumptions. We think constant attention wins hearts or that being available at the drop of a hat shows devotion. But what if these behaviors were actually driving women away? Imagine stepping into a world where you not only understand but also harness the hidden truths of human psychology. A world where your every action isn't about playing games but about living with purpose and confidence. Today, we're diving deep into 10 psychological facts about women, facts that will reshape your approach and turn you into someone women can't resist. These aren't tricks or shallow tactics. They're rooted in the timeless wisdom of personal growth, confidence, and yes, even stoicism. If you've ever felt overlooked or unsure of how to create lasting attraction, stick around. Each of these facts will empower you to become the best version of yourself and in doing so, naturally draw people toward you. By the end of this, you'll not only understand women better, but you'll also discover a version of yourself that's confident, self-assured, and magnetic, ready to transform your perspective. Let's begin with the first truth. 1. Scarcity enhances value. Imagine for a moment a rare gemstone. Its allure isn't just in its beauty, but in its scarcity. Now, think about your presence in someone's life. If you're always there, ready and waiting, your presence risks becoming mundane, like a favorite song played on repeat until it loses its magic. This is the first psychological truth. People, including women, inherently value what is scarce. Ask yourself, how can she miss you if you never give her the chance? If your name pops up in her notifications at every moment, you may inadvertently train her to expect your availability, which can dilute the excitement of your interactions. But when your presence becomes a rare and cherished occurrence, it leaves a mark. This isn't about manipulation, it's about shifting focus. You're not disappearing to create longing, you're stepping back to enrich your own life. Think of it as creating a balanced rhythm. Your presence is the melody, and your absence is the silence that makes the music impactful. When you learn to balance these, you'll find your interactions carry more weight. Here's the secret. When you step away, you allow her space to reflect on what your presence adds to her life. This is where the psychological allure of scarcity comes into play. It's not about ghosting or playing hard to get. It's about being so engrossed in your own pursuits, whether it's mastering a skill, building your career, or nurturing your passions, that your time becomes valuable. But why does scarcity work? It taps into a deep-seated human bias, the fear of missing out. We crave what we believe we can't have or what we risk losing. Your occasional absence subtly communicates, I am busy living a fulfilling life, and you must earn a place in it. This is a powerful shift from the narrative of endless availability. Let's break this down further. Think about your habits. Are you the first to reply to her messages, eager to show your interest? It feels good in the moment, but over time it can make your attention feel less special. Instead, try waiting. Take your time to respond, not out of indifference, but because you're genuinely focused on your own life. It might seem counterintuitive, but this small shift makes your interactions more intentional and engaging. Scarcity also ties directly into one of the core principles of Stoicism, valuing what you can control, your time, your energy, and your focus. You're not retreating out of insecurity, you're prioritizing your life and ensuring that your presence becomes something she values, not takes for granted. Let me pose a question to you. What would happen if you became someone who wasn't easily accessible? Someone whose time and attention were treasures rather than certainties? You'd become a rare experience in her life, something she seeks rather than something she assumes. This shift can feel liberating. It places the power back in your hands, allowing you to build genuine connections based on mutual respect and interest. And as you implement this, you'll start to notice something fascinating. The more you focus on cultivating your own life, the more intrigued she becomes. She'll wonder what you're up to, why you're not always there, and this curiosity will naturally draw her closer. So what's the takeaway here? Scarcity enhances value, and your presence should be no different. Start treating your time and attention as precious commodities, and watch as the dynamics of your interactions transform. It's not about withholding, it's about living fully and letting your presence speak volumes when you do show up. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. The next psychological truth will reveal why independence isn't just attractive, it's essential for building lasting attraction. Let's dive deeper into the art of becoming someone she genuinely desires. 2. Independence is attractive. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to draw others to them effortlessly? They walk into a room, and without saying a word, they command attention. What's their secret? It's independence. This is the second psychological fact about women that can change your approach entirely. Independence is magnetic. Here's why. Women, like all people, are naturally drawn to those who exude self-sufficiency. When you have your own life filled with hobbies, goals, and passions, it sends a clear message: you are whole on your own. You're not looking for someone to complete you, but rather to complement your already fulfilling life. This kind of mindset shifts the power dynamic in your favor and creates a sense of intrigue. Let's explore this deeper. Imagine a man who constantly hovers, always asking, "What are you doing? Can I see you? Do you miss me?" His world revolves around her, and while his intentions might be good, his actions scream one thing: dependence. Over time, this can feel suffocating, even if it's meant to show care. But contrast this with a man who is genuinely invested in his own journey. He's not readily available every hour of the day, not because he's playing hard to get, but because he's living his life to the fullest. Here's the truth. Independence demonstrates that you have purpose and direction. You're a man on a mission. Maybe you're building your career, perfecting a craft, or pursuing a lifelong dream. These pursuits not only give your life depth, but also make you inherently more attractive. Why? Because you're showing her that you have a rich inner world, one that doesn't depend on external validation. Think about it. When was the last time you felt captivated by someone who was deeply passionate about what they do? That passion is contagious, and it's the same in relationships. When she sees that your life is driven by more than just the desire for her attention, she'll want to be a part of it. Stoicism comes into play here again. The philosophy teaches us to focus on what we can control: our growth, our passions, our well-being. By doing this, you naturally become the kind of person who inspires respect and admiration. Your independence becomes your strength, and women are naturally drawn to men who display self-assurance and autonomy. Let me ask you this. What message are you sending right now? Are you signaling that you're content and driven, or are you unintentionally conveying neediness? Shifting your focus inward towards your own development sends a clear and compelling message. It says, "I value myself, and I invite you to join me on this journey." So, how do you cultivate this independence? Start small. Dedicate time each week to something that excites you: a new skill, a fitness goal, a creative project. The more you invest in yourself, the less reliant you'll be on her responses or attention to feel fulfilled. And here's the magic. As you grow more engrossed in your own life, she'll start to notice. She'll wonder what you're up to, why you're so focused, and this curiosity will naturally draw her closer. Before we move on, I want to hear from you. Are you already embracing independence in your life? Or is this a shift you're excited to make? Let me know in the comments by sharing one passion or goal you're currently pursuing. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to like this video to show your support. Your feedback fuels these conversations, helping us dive deeper into topics that matter to you. 3. Mystery sparks curiosity. Think back to the last time someone truly captivated your attention. Was it their looks, their charm, or was it the sense that there was more to them than what met the eye? This brings us to our third psychological fact. Mystery is a powerful driver of attraction. When a person remains slightly enigmatic, it triggers a natural curiosity that keeps others engaged, wanting to learn more. Why does mystery work so well? It taps into our innate desire to solve puzzles. The human mind loves to seek closure, And when someone doesn't immediately reveal everything about themselves, it leaves us wondering, what else is there to discover? This effect is amplified in romantic dynamics. If you're too much of an open book, predictable and easy to figure out, you risk losing that spark of intrigue. Mystery doesn't mean being evasive or distant, it's about holding back just enough to create anticipation. Consider how often we take for granted the things we feel we fully understand. But when there's a hint of the unknown, our interest sharpens. For example, sharing a fascinating part of your life without revealing every detail, like a project you're passionate about or a place you've always wanted to visit, creates room for curiosity. She'll naturally want to ask more, to dig deeper, and that keeps the connection alive. This principle also aligns beautifully with Stoicism. The Stoics taught the value of composure and restraint, focusing on maintaining depth rather than seeking constant validation. By embracing this philosophy, you can cultivate a calm, confident presence that invites curiosity. Instead of oversharing or trying too hard to impress, you become comfortable with leaving parts of your story untold until the right moment. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine a man who eagerly tells his life story on the first date, laying out every achievement, dream, and hardship. While transparency can build trust, unloading too much too soon removes any sense of wonder. On the other hand, consider a man who shares glimpses, just enough to spark intrigue. He listens attentively, responds thoughtfully, and subtly shifts the focus back to her. This balance leaves her thinking about him long after their time together, imagining what else she might learn in the future. Here's another key point. Mystery fosters emotional depth. When you don't rush to reveal everything, it shows that you value meaningful connections. You're not just handing over your story to anyone, you're waiting for the right person and the right moment. This subtle patience signals emotional intelligence and self-respect, qualities that are universally attractive. To cultivate mystery, start by embracing pauses in conversation. Allow moments of silence to hang, letting her fill the space with her thoughts or questions. When asked about your day or your plans, offer a thoughtful but concise response. "I've been working on something exciting, but I'll tell you more about it later," is far more compelling than detailing every step of your routine. This approach keeps the dialogue dynamic and invites her to stay engaged. Ultimately, mystery isn't about playing games or creating artificial barriers. It's about fostering a sense of depth and complexity in your interactions. By doing so, you'll not only captivate her attention but also build a connection based on genuine intrigue and mutual discovery. And as you master this art, you'll find that curiosity becomes a powerful ally in creating lasting attraction. 4. Confidence trumps all. Confidence is one of the most universally attractive traits. But here's the catch. True confidence isn't loud or boastful. It doesn't demand attention or seek validation. It simply exists, radiating a quiet assurance that speaks volumes. This brings us to our fourth psychological fact. Confidence, when genuine, is irresistible. What makes confidence so compelling? It's rooted in certainty. When you know your value, your actions and words naturally reflect that. You don't feel the need to prove yourself or seek approval because you're secure in who you are. This authenticity is magnetic, drawing people toward you in a way that feels effortless and natural. Women, like anyone else, are highly attuned to authenticity. They can sense when someone's confidence is real versus when it's a facade. Bravado, arrogance, or excessive self-promotion often signal insecurity rather than strength. On the flip side, a man who moves through life with quiet confidence, who is comfortable in his own skin and unapologetically himself, commands attention without even trying. Confidence also ties back to self-awareness. When you're aware of your strengths and comfortable with your imperfections, you project an air of self-assuredness. This doesn't mean you'll never face doubts or insecurities. It means you've learned to navigate them without letting them define you. Imagine walking into a room. Instead of wondering what others think of you, you're focused on engaging with the world around you. You're present, listening, and contributing to the moment. This is confidence in action, being fully immersed in life rather than constantly questioning your place in it. Confidence also plays a key role in how you handle challenges. Life will inevitably throw obstacles your way, and how you respond to them can either amplify or diminish your appeal. When you face setbacks with resilience and grace, it shows that you're not easily shaken. This kind of emotional stability, rooted in Stoicism, is incredibly attractive, as it signals a man who can handle life's complexities with poise. Finally, confidence isn't just about how you see yourself, it's also about how you make others feel. When you're secure in your own value, you're more likely to uplift those around you, creating a space where they feel valued and appreciated. This dynamic fosters deeper connections and mutual respect, laying the foundation for meaningful relationships. In essence, confidence is your unshakable foundation. It allows you to move through life with purpose and clarity, attracting the kind of people who are drawn to your authentic self. And when it comes to building attraction, nothing speaks louder than a man who knows his worth. 5. Women notice emotional stability. Imagine this: you're in the middle of a heated discussion. Emotions are running high, and the air feels charged. How do you respond? Do you react impulsively, letting your emotions dictate your words and actions? Or do you take a moment to breathe, reflect, and approach the situation with calm and composure? This brings us to the 5th psychological truth. Women are deeply attuned to emotional stability, and it's a trait they find incredibly attractive. Why is this so powerful? Emotional stability signals maturity, self-awareness, and resilience, all qualities that create a sense of safety and reliability. When you're emotionally stable, you're not easily swayed by external events or internal doubts. You handle challenges with grace, maintaining your composure even when things get tough. This doesn't mean you suppress your feelings. It means you navigate them thoughtfully, showing that you're in control of your responses rather than being controlled by them. In relationships, this is crucial. Life is full of ups and downs, and how you handle those moments speaks volumes about your character. Women, like anyone else, want to be around people who can weather the storms of life without crumbling under pressure. Your ability to remain calm and grounded, even in emotionally charged situations, makes you a rock in her life, someone she can rely on. Emotional stability also fosters open and effective communication. When you're stable, you can express your thoughts and feelings without resorting to blame, defensiveness, or withdrawal. This creates a space where both you and your partner feel heard and understood, strengthening your connection. It shows that you're not afraid to confront issues, but you do so in a way that prioritizes resolution over conflict. Let's not overlook how emotional stability ties into confidence. When you're in control of your emotions, you exude a quiet strength that's hard to ignore. It signals that you're not easily shaken by life's challenges, which is a cornerstone of Stoicism. Women are drawn to this kind of resilience because it offers a sense of security and trust. They know you won't crumble in the face of adversity or let fleeting emotions dictate your actions. But here's the real question. How do you cultivate emotional stability? It starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to what triggers your emotions and how you typically react. Practice pausing before responding, giving yourself time to process and choose a thoughtful course of action. Techniques like mindfulness, deep breathing, or journaling can help you stay grounded, especially during stressful moments. Another key aspect is reframing your mindset. Understand that challenges and conflicts are inevitable, but they don't define you. Instead of seeing them as threats, view them as opportunities to grow and strengthen your emotional resilience. This perspective shift can help you navigate even the toughest situations with confidence and composure. Now, let me ask you, have you noticed the impact of emotional stability in your interactions? Maybe you've experienced moments where staying calm turned a potential argument into a productive conversation. Or perhaps you've seen how composure can diffuse tension and foster understanding. Share your experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear how emotional stability has played a role in your relationships. And if this resonates with you, don't forget to like this video to support the conversation. Your feedback not only helps the community grow, but also ensures we continue exploring topics that matter to you. Let's keep building a space where we learn and grow together. 6. Social media habits speak volumes. In today's digital age, social media is often the silent third party in our relationships. Every like, comment, and story view sends a subtle message, sometimes louder than words. This brings us to our sixth psychological fact. Your social media habits reveal more about your intentions and mindset than you might realize. Let's take a typical scenario. She posts a photo, and within seconds you're the first to like it or comment. Harmless, right? Not exactly. While you might think this shows interest, what it often communicates is a level of eagerness that can come across as needy or overly attentive. Women are perceptive and pick up on patterns quickly. If you're always present in her digital space, it signals that you're constantly watching, waiting for an opportunity to engage. On the surface, these interactions seem minor, but over time they accumulate and form an image of who you are. The man who's always the first to react becomes predictable and, frankly, less exciting. But what happens when you break this pattern? When you stop liking every post or skip watching her stories? Suddenly, there's a noticeable void, a shift in the dynamic that piques curiosity. Why does this work? It ties into the human need for validation. We often seek it through social media engagement. By withholding that instant validation, you create a sense of intrigue. She may begin to wonder why you're not as present online, which leads to a natural curiosity about what you're up to. This subtle shift can make your interactions feel more meaningful and intentional when they do happen. Moreover, controlling your social media habits is a reflection of Stoicism, a principle rooted in self-discipline and focusing on what truly matters. You're not disengaging to manipulate, you're simply prioritizing your own mental space and avoiding the traps of mindless scrolling or performative engagement. This shows her that you value your time and are not overly reliant on external validation, which is an inherently attractive quality. So the next time you're tempted to double tap on every post or be the first viewer of her latest story, pause. Ask yourself, is this interaction adding value, or is it just a reflex? When you start engaging more selectively, your online presence becomes less predictable and more impactful, subtly shifting the dynamics in your favor. 7. Attention overload can backfire. It's natural to want to show someone you care. You text them often, make yourself available whenever they need, and ensure they feel your presence in their life. While these gestures come from a good place, they can sometimes lead to an unintended consequence. Too much attention can actually backfire. Here's why. When you're constantly present, your attention becomes something they expect rather than appreciate. It's human nature to take for granted what is always available. The more you give without restraint, the less valued your presence can become. Over time, the dynamic shifts from mutual interest to a one-sided chase, where your efforts are met with diminishing enthusiasm. Think of attention like water to a plant. Too little and it wilts. Too much and it drowns. The same balance applies in relationships. Giving someone space to breathe allows them to appreciate the moments when you're fully present. When your attention is carefully measured and intentional, it creates a sense of anticipation and value. This doesn't mean withdrawing completely or playing games. It's about finding a healthy rhythm that respects both your time and hers. For example, instead of replying instantly to every message, take your time to craft thoughtful responses. Instead of always initiating plans, occasionally let her take the lead. These small adjustments signal that your life is full and balanced, and that your attention is something to be earned, not assumed. When you balance your attention this way, it naturally builds a more dynamic and reciprocal relationship. She begins to value the time and energy you invest because it's clear you're not just offering it out of habit, but because you genuinely want to. This subtle shift can reignite the excitement in your interactions, making each moment together more meaningful. Ultimately, attention should never feel like a constant stream, but rather a carefully curated experience. When given in the right amounts, it has the power to strengthen bonds and deepen connections. But when overused, it risks overwhelming the very foundation of mutual appreciation. By learning to balance your attention, you create a space where your presence is truly felt and valued. 8. The power of subtle withdrawal. Have you ever noticed how distance can shift someone's perspective? When you're always present, your value might blend into the background. But when you step back, even just a little, it creates a space for reflection. a chance for her to realize what your presence truly adds to her life. This brings us to our 8th psychological truth. Subtle withdrawal can reset the dynamics of a relationship and reinforce respect. Let's be clear. This isn't about playing games or using silence as a weapon. It's about asserting your self-worth. When faced with disrespect, whether it's indifference, dismissive behavior, or a lack of reciprocity, the Stoic approach is to step back, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. This quiet withdrawal sends a powerful message. I value myself too much to chase or cling. Why does this work? When someone feels your consistent presence, it's easy for them to take it for granted. But when you suddenly shift that dynamic by becoming less available, it disrupts their expectations. The absence of your attention creates a void, prompting them to reflect on the connection and their role in it. Subtle withdrawal works best when it's genuine. You're not retreating to manipulate or provoke, but to refocus on your own growth and well-being. It's about recalibrating the relationship dynamics to ensure mutual respect and effort. This act of stepping back often prompts her to reconsider her behavior, and in many cases makes her take the initiative to reconnect on healthier terms. Here's a real-world example. Let's say she's been distant or inconsistent in her responses. Instead of doubling down on your efforts to win her attention, you step back. You don't confront her with accusations or demands. You simply redirect your energy toward your own pursuits. This quiet confidence often sparks curiosity and respect. She'll start to notice your absence and may even reach out to reestablish the connection. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You're not cutting ties or issuing ultimatums. You're simply making it clear that your time and attention are valuable. This shift in dynamic can transform the relationship, fostering mutual appreciation and balance. Now, let me ask you, have you ever tried stepping back from someone and noticed a change in their behavior? Share your experiences in the comments. I'd love to hear how subtle withdrawal has worked for you. And if this resonates, like this video to show that you're committed to fostering healthier, more balanced connections. Your insights help build a community where we can all grow and learn together. 9. Abundance mindset changes the game. One of the most common pitfalls in relationships is the scarcity mindset. The belief that the person you're interested in is the only viable option, the only one who could possibly fulfill your desires. This mindset breeds fear. Fear of losing her. Fear of not being good enough. Fear that you won't find someone else. But here's the truth. The world is abundant, filled with opportunities and meaningful connections. Embracing this abundance is the 9th psychological fact that can transform your approach to relationships. Why is this shift so important? When you operate from a scarcity mindset, your actions often come from a place of desperation. You might tolerate poor treatment, overextend yourself, or cling to someone even when the relationship is unbalanced. These behaviors don't stem from genuine affection. They're fueled by the fear of scarcity, the idea that if you lose her, you'll be left with nothing. But when you adopt an abundance mindset, everything changes. You realize that no single person defines your worth or your future happiness. You begin to understand that there are countless people in the world who could be compatible with you, and that the right connection will come when it's meant to, without force or fear. This mindset not only reduces anxiety but also makes you more attractive. Women, like anyone else, are drawn to people who exude confidence and self-assuredness. When you believe that your happiness and fulfillment don't hinge on any one person, you become more relaxed and present. You're not seeking validation, you're simply enjoying the connection for what it is, without the pressure of needing it to define your life. Let's take this a step further. Adopting an abundance mindset doesn't mean you're indifferent or unwilling to invest in a relationship. It means you're approaching it from a place of strength, not neediness. You're open to love and connection, but you're not afraid to walk away if it's not serving your growth and well-being. This is a core principle of Stoicism, focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. Imagine meeting someone new. Instead of clinging to the idea that this has to work out, you embrace the experience with curiosity and openness. If it grows into something meaningful, great. If not, you trust that another opportunity will come. This detachment from outcomes allows you to fully enjoy the moment, and paradoxically, it often strengthens the connection because it removes the weight of expectation. Adopting an abundance mindset also helps you set boundaries. When you know your worth and trust in the abundance of opportunities, you're less likely to settle for less than you deserve. You won't accept disrespect or one-sided effort because you know there's no need to cling to a situation that doesn't align with your values. In essence, this mindset empowers you to approach relationships with confidence, self-respect, and a sense of freedom. You're no longer trapped by the fear of scarcity, but instead, you're open to the vast possibilities life has to offer. And as you embrace this perspective, you'll find that the right people naturally gravitate toward you, drawn by your strength and independence. 10. Women value men who set boundaries. Boundaries are often misunderstood in relationships. Some see them as barriers, but in truth, boundaries are the framework within which respect and mutual appreciation thrive. This leads us to the final psychological truth. Women are naturally drawn to men who establish and uphold clear personal boundaries. What do boundaries communicate? They say, I respect myself and I expect the same from you. When you set boundaries, you define how you wish to be treated and what you will and won't accept in a relationship. This isn't about being rigid or controlling, it's about safeguarding your well-being and maintaining a healthy dynamic. Women respect men who stand firm in their values because it signals confidence and self-awareness. Let's explore what this looks like in practice. Imagine you're dating someone who frequently cancels plans at the last minute. If you let it slide every time without addressing it, you might think you're being accommodating. But over time, this lack of boundaries can lead to resentment, and worse, it can signal that your time isn't valuable. Now, if you gently but firmly communicate that you value your time and expect mutual respect, you're setting a boundary. You're not demanding or giving ultimatums, you're simply expressing your standards. Boundaries also play a crucial role in fostering trust and attraction. When you're clear about what you want and need, it creates a sense of security. She knows where you stand and what you expect, which makes the relationship more transparent and less prone to misunderstandings. Additionally, boundaries demonstrate that you're not afraid to walk away from situations that don't align with your values, a trait that's deeply rooted in Stoicism. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are they're individuals who know their worth and aren't afraid to assert it. They inspire respect because they stand by their principles, even when it's uncomfortable. The same applies to your relationships. When you uphold your boundaries, you not only protect your emotional health, but also create a space where mutual respect can flourish. Moreover, boundaries enhance the quality of your interactions. When both partners understand and respect each other's limits, it allows for deeper, more meaningful connections. You're no longer navigating a relationship where one person feels overextended or undervalued. Instead, you're building a partnership rooted in balance and reciprocity. Now, let's consider the psychological effect this has on her. A man with boundaries is a man who knows his worth. This confidence is magnetic because it sets you apart from those who are willing to compromise their values for the sake of approval. It shows her that you're serious about your own well-being, and by extension, about the quality of your relationship. In summary, boundaries are not walls but bridges to healthier and more fulfilling connections. They allow you to maintain your individuality while fostering a dynamic where both partners feel valued and understood. By setting and respecting boundaries, you create a relationship where respect and attraction naturally thrive. We've journeyed through 10 powerful psychological truths about women that, when understood and applied, can profoundly transform your relationships. These aren't gimmicks or surface-level tactics, they're grounded in authentic self-improvement, respect, and a commitment to living a fulfilling life. From embracing the power of scarcity to setting firm boundaries, every insight shared here is designed to help you foster deeper, more meaningful connections. But here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about attracting women. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally draws others toward them because of their confidence, independence, and emotional stability. When you focus on cultivating your inner world, living with purpose, mastering your emotions, and embracing an abundance mindset, you're not just changing how others perceive you, you're changing how you perceive yourself. So what's next? It's time to reflect on these truths and start applying them in your life. Which of these insights resonated with you the most? Is there a particular area where you feel you could grow or shift your approach? Remember, growth is a journey, not a destination. By taking small, intentional steps, you'll begin to see shifts not only in your relationships but also in your overall sense of fulfillment and purpose. Finally, I want to thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the psychology of attraction. If this exploration sparked new insights or gave you practical tools to enhance your relationships, I encourage you to share your thoughts. Leave a comment below and let me know which of these truths you're excited to put into practice. And if you found value here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with others who could benefit from these insights. Here's to your growth, your confidence, and the meaningful connections you'll build along the way. Until next time, remember, the most attractive version of yourself is the one that stays true to your values and pursues life with purpose and passion. Stay strong, stay focused, and embrace the art of living with authenticity.